What is up YouTube? This is Alex aka Foreign. I've been asked multiple times to do the which one to choose type video for the Pascal cards and RX 480. This video will be dedicated to the 1070 though, and in a week or so I'll make one about the 1080 as well. The problem with the 1060 is that the card is still too young to make any objective overviews, and the 480 has very few aftermarket cards out and reviews. Now Pascal is extremely power efficient. Due to the cards consuming less power, they output less heat as well, which means they don't get as hot. The 1080 and 1070 are basically the same chip, with the 1070 being around 15 to 20% slower because certain parts of it are disabled. That means that the 1070s generally run cooler than the 1080s. With this generation, the graphics card's coolers have evolved very nicely as well. We see low temperatures and noise levels across the board, steady clock speeds, and mostly beautiful cooler designs. This time we will have a more general look at the available 1070 cards and see if there are any significant differences between the different brands. What we're gonna do is go on Newegg and search for GTX 1070. The current lack of cards and general price gouging is still present, so be aware of that if you're watching this video after July the 25th, 2016. Most of the cards are currently well above even the price of the reference card at $450 USD. Because all the available cards are either overpriced or very close to the $450 range, then that is the thing you should keep in mind. I will look at all the cards here, but keep in mind that the prices may change depending on the time period and availability. It is suggested that things should stabilize by mid or late August. We will take a look at the MSI GTX 1070 Gaming, Gaming X, Gaming Z, and Armor cards, the Zotac GTX 1070 AMP and AMP Extreme editions, the EVGA GTX 1070 Superclocked, and for the Win Gaming ACX 3.0 cards, the ASUS ROG GTX 1070 STRIX OC and non-OC editions, and the Gigabyte GTX 1070 Windforce OC, G1 Gaming, and the Extreme Gaming cards. That's a total of 13 cards, and those aren't all of them. These are the GTX 1070s I found on Newegg.com on the 25th of July 2016. I may release an updated video when the availability and price gouging goes down. Now I made an Excel table with all the cards, their core, boost and memory clock speeds, average temperatures, noise levels, price, power connectivity, and additional features. A link to the file will be in the description below. I have used multiple websites and YouTube channels for the reviews that I studied, which can also be found in the file. The temperatures were sometimes taken from multiple reviews and averaged, which means that they may differ by 2 to 3 degrees depending on your system airflow and ambient temperature in the room. The general order should still be the same. Now let's take a closer look. Sorting by temperature reveals that all 3 Gigabyte cards are the coolest, with averages going from 65 to 67 C under load. Other than that, we can clearly see that all further cards get hotter the more pre-overclocked they are, except for Zotac's AMP Extreme card. That's understandable since it's basically a triple slot 1.4 kilogram graphics card with an enormous cooler. All 3 MSI gaming cards have the same cooler and come pre-overclocked on a different level. The higher the price, the higher the pre-overclock, and the higher the average temperature. Same with the ASUS STRIX card. OC and the non-OC STRIX GTX 1070s have the same cooler. One is just pre-overclocked and runs hotter, and the other one isn't. The Armor card from MSI is clocked lower and runs hotter than the MSI gaming variants, but it also costs $10 less than the cheapest MSI gaming card, so nothing surprising there. The EVGA cards are at the bottom with lower pre-overclocks and highest temperatures. Now, if I were to choose between all these graphics cards and would want the cheapest and coolest card only, then I would definitely go with the Gigabyte Windforce OC one, because it is only $400 right now and stays at an average of 65 C. My second choice would be the Gigabyte G1 Gaming, if you really want that RGB lighting. Now, one thing you may be thinking, but Foreign, why aren't you looking at those core and boost clocks? The thing with Pascal is that, same as Maxwell, these chips boost far higher than what is advertised. For instance, you're getting a card with a set boost clock of 1700 MHz, but it boosts up to 1900 plus all by itself. This has been shown by a lot of reviewers, so in my opinion there's no need to worry about boost clocks. GPU Boost 3.0 from Nvidia is so smart that if your card has enough power and cooling capacity, it will boost even higher, without the need to tinker with any settings. Now, concerning the power delivery, even though some prominent YouTubers, Jace2Sense specifically, have stated that the 8-pin power connector on the reference 1080 is not limiting the card in terms of overclocking, if you want to be really sure about it, you may as well go with the MSI Gaming 8G, the cheapest and coolest 6+8-pin power connector card. But otherwise, those extra 100 to 200 MHz on the core won't help you get a game running better when you're in the 2000 MHz range anyway. So again, a quick overview of the currently available GTX 1070s on Newegg. I know there are dozens more, but it is simply impossible to cover them all in one video. When or if more reviews of the different palette cards or other ones show up, I will try making a video update on this. In the meanwhile, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, comments, or anything to say at all, then please leave them in the comments section below. I thank you for your attention and hope to see you later.